Look at this chart. Bitcoin is going vertical. And not in a slow, healthy, the market is doing market things kind of way, but in a someone just drank 3 energy drinks and discovered leverage trading at 2 a.m. kind of way. Because here's the thing. Over the last decade, Bitcoin has been volatile. But recently, it's been moving like something bigger is happening underneath the surface. And the weirdest part? Nobody can agree why. Not traders. Not institutions. Not crypto Twitter. And definitely not that one guy who thinks every dip is a government conspiracy. So what's actually going on? Is Bitcoin about to explode higher, or is this the setup before something breaks? Because right now, Bitcoin is sending mixed signals. Prices are rising. Institutions are buying. Retail investors are confused. And the media? They're flipping between Bitcoin is dead and Bitcoin is the future every other week. So in this video, we're going to break it down. No hype. No bias. Just what's actually happening behind the scenes. And why this moment might matter more than you think. The obvious explanation, that's wrong. So let's start with what everyone thinks is happening. Bitcoin is going up because people are buying it. Groundbreaking. But seriously, most people believe Bitcoin is rising because of hype, retail demand, or social media buzz. And sure, that plays a role. But if this was just hype, you'd see massive spikes in Google searches. You'd see your friends suddenly talking about crypto again. You'd see TikTok flooded with "buy this coin now" videos. But that's not happening. Not at the level you'd expect. Which means something else is driving this. Something quieter. Something bigger. The real driver, institutional money. Here's where things get interesting. Bitcoin isn't just being bought by individuals anymore. It's being accumulated by institutions. We're talking asset managers, hedge funds, and even companies adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets. And unlike retail investors, they don't chase hype. They position early. They accumulate quietly, and they hold long-term. This isn't emotional buying. This is strategic positioning. Because for the first time, Bitcoin is being treated less like a gamble and more like an asset class. Distrust in the system. Now let's zoom out. Because this isn't just about Bitcoin. It's about trust, or more specifically, the lack of it. Global debt is rising. Currencies are losing purchasing power. And people are starting to ask a simple question: what actually holds value anymore? And that's where Bitcoin enters the conversation. Not as a currency but as a hedge. A digital alternative. Something outside the traditional system. And when trust in the system starts to shake, assets like Bitcoin start to move. Why this is so confusing? But here's where things get weird. Because at the same time Bitcoin is rising, so are stocks, so is tech, so are risk assets. Which doesn't make sense. Because traditionally, markets pick a direction. Either investors are confident or they're cautious. Not both. Right now, we're seeing both. Which creates confusion. Because one side of the market is saying, the future is strong, and the other side is saying, something feels off. And Bitcoin is sitting right in the middle of that tension. The psychology behind the move. Here's the truth most people miss. Bitcoin doesn't just move because of fundamentals. It moves because of psychology. Fear of missing out. Fear of losing money. Hope for financial freedom. And right now all three are active at the same time. People are scared of being left behind. But also scared of getting wrecked. Which creates hesitation. And hesitation creates volatility. So what happens next? Honestly, no one knows. And anyone who tells you they do is guessing. But here's what we can say: when markets are clear, assets move logically. When markets are uncertain, they move unpredictably. And right now, this is not a clear market. This is a transition. So if you're watching Bitcoin right now, don't just watch the price. Watch the behavior. Because price tells you what's happening. But behavior tells you why. And right now, the why is more important than ever. If you want more videos that break down money, markets, and psychology like this, subscribe to the Visual Finance. Because in a world full of noise, understanding is your biggest advantage.